and today I have another compilation video for you guys. Oh, and this one is gonna be fun. It's gonna be so great and exciting. I've decided to compile my top 10 worst projects of all time. So my bottom 10 worst projects, my top 10 worst, that's kind of weird. Anyway, it's the 10 worst projects that I've ever done on my channel. I did kind of skip past my super old stuff. Like, I didn't even consider that kind of stuff because honestly, like, everything that I did that long ago is like kind of a fail. Sorry, not to roast past me. I mean, you're doing a good job, but you're not doing that great of a job. So I really only went back like, you know, maybe maximum 5 years, I want to say. But some of these are very well-known failures on my channel. Some of them you may not have guessed would be on this list. Some of them I even kind of liked at the time when I made them, but you know,
hindsight.
You may think,
how negative? Why would you focus on the ones that you failed at?
Because failure is
a part of life.
It can be funny, it can be frustrating, it can be sad. I think it's kind of interesting to look at the worst projects that I've created. I like to poke fun at them and enjoy them for what they are, which is terrible, by the way. So I am gonna work my way up to the project that I think is the worst failure. As you watch through, they get worse and worse. Also, before I get into this compilation, I do want to make a quick announcement. Last week, I launched my Derpy Dino collection, which includes backpacks, pins, keychains, and every single item in that launch sold out in under 24 hours, which is great, okay? Celebrate, confetti, yay! Except not, because a lot of you were very angry, upset, disappointed. A lot of you were very disappointed that things sold out so quickly. Now, everything that we had in stock for these items is already gone. However, since so many of you have been requesting to bring some of these items back, we are gonna place them on pre-order, so if you still want them, you have a chance to get them. It is gonna take a lot longer than it would have if they were in stock, but at least they are available now for those of you who really wanted these. Let's get into the compilation. At this point, I'm gonna start piecing together my new creations.
You see?
It's a Plantimal. Using my fabric hot glue, I'll just stick all the pieces that I want together and voila, I've made something. Now I'm using some slick paint to secure all of these pieces together, going around each and every seam to make sure that all the gaps and rips are completely filled with puffy paint. After a day or so of drying, I'm ready to do the final prep step, which is painting a white base coat. I'm going for a nice dark brown on the face. The Plantimal concept may seem vaguely familiar to you if you know my characters. I must acknowledge the man who inspired them all. It's Fred, the bear plant, who has become rather loved on my channel. Technically, Fred is the first Plantimal, although I never used that term until now because I just made it up like 5 minutes ago. While Fred is kind of like morphed with the Plantimals are made of the dirt and the plant is growing out of the dirt. Instead of being the plant of the plant, they're the dirt of the plant. I don't know, I just wasn't feeling like making 6 green animals. So they're all gonna be variations of brown. So I guess they're less Plantimal, more dirtimal. Ooh, let's stick with Plantimal. The pot was nice and easy. I'm starting with the bright pink color on this one. Then for the plant top, I wanna stick with these 3 shades of green for the whole set. So I'm gonna use any combination of these 3 greens for all of them. I also definitely want to include gradients and blending within the plants to give them some detail. Of course, this means they're gonna take forever because blending every leaf on 6 plant squishies. Jeez, what am I doing? For the face, I wanted to try something with pink eyes to match the pot. In my mind, it was gonna be fun and funky and quirky, but I quickly realized that was a bad plan. I panic painted over them, and that was even worse. Okay, I just need to start over. What I was trying to avoid is making the eyes look too big of a contrast since the dark brown is pretty dark, so I thought maybe a light brown would soften the look, but this is just looking odd. Okay, painting over that again. Okay, let's just go with white. I need to be careful how many times I redo this because the paint is gonna start getting chunky. So before I mess this up again, I snapped a photo, brought it into my iPad. This is a good way to experiment and see what things look like without consequence. I really wanted to include pink in the face as much as possible to create an overall pink theme and kind of tie the pink into the animal. I tried heart eyes, brown eyes with pink eyebrows, eyebrows. Then I decided to go with green eyes instead to match with the plant, and then bring in pink eyebrows and a pink nose. I think I like that. I don't even know. Enough playing around. It's time to do this for real. So far, so good. I painted on pink whiskers. What? That wasn't part of the plan. Stop it. Yeah, let's not do that. I know that I did plan those pink eyebrows, but I just was not feeling it at all after seeing it in person. So I went over all of that with black, but at this point, I'm getting scared and I just want it to be normal. Then I decided,
You know what I need to do?
complicate this even more. How about I add a gradient to the pot? What? Yeah, we got time for that. Anything I do to this one, I have to be consistent and do for the whole set. So by doing this, I've committed to do a blendy gradient on all 6 pots. Oh, and look at me, adding hearts. I'm still just trying to add that pink into the face somehow. Finally, the signature and my first Plantimal is finished. I don't hate this, but I do not love it either. I think that this is the worst one in the whole set. No offense, kitty girl.
But yeah, you're the worst.
I don't know if it's just because this is the first one that I did. I did the best that I could with it. Let's see who I get next. Oh, it's Eustace! Oh my gosh, you're just so... I don't know why when I open them, it's like I'm seeing them the first time, even though I've been looking at these for months. We've been working on them for a while. He is so stinking cute though. Look at him. If you're not looking at him, please look at him. How can we change him? He is who he is, and he's always been a chocolate cat with mint chocolate chip ice cream. How can we see Eustace any other way? This is gonna be different. This is gonna be weird, but we're gonna do it. Let's customize Eustace. All right, so I'm gonna be honest. I was totally and utterly lost with the custom Eustace design. Things get a little weird here, but I mean, it is Eustace. What did we expect? Bringing out some galaxy colors because I'm going for an outer space theme. So he's still gonna be Eustace, the ice cream cat, but his ice cream is now just galaxy ice cream. First little problem, those lovely detailed embroidered chocolate chips are ruining everything right now. They are going to prove to be very hard to paint over, but this is my first attempt. We're just gonna throw on some blendy galaxy colors and hope for the best here, which we can see after one coat. Gosh, we don't have the best here. Those chocolate chips are brutal. So I went over it again and I just tried to pile on some blue paint, cover those things up. Didn't really work. Okay, I should have done this from the start. I'm gonna go over the chocolate chips in white to make one last desperate attempt to get rid of them. That does seem to help, so I go over it all again with one more layer of blendy galaxy. Oh, nope, I lied. Now I go over it again with one more layer of blendy galaxy, and once I'm pretty happy with that, I just commit the brutal and heinous act of chopping off the cherry stem. Oh, that hurts. I'm gonna turn the cherry into a planet, or I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best to convince you that this is a planet. I start adding pink and orange and it's all getting very muddy and weird. Are you convinced?
No.
Is this a planet yet?
No.
Took a break from that to add in all the stars on the galaxy. Hopefully that'll distract from the still visible imprints of those chocolate chips. And this is how we're looking. It's weird. So I decided to make it weirder. I added a little orange planet to his front leg and then some yellow stars on his other leg. These are like his alien tattoos. And then I went back to that. I added a ring around it to make it more planetary.
Yeah. What?
I mean, I don't know what that looks like, really. I don't know. Lastly, I added a ring around his little alien tattoo, and this is the final Eustace. I'm not 100% happy with this one. I mean, it's kind of weird, and I'm not sure that it looks like a planet. You can still see his chocolate chips from some angles. I feel like it needs to look more alien. It needs something else. I feel like it would be cool to change all of his facial details to a metallic silver, kind of like what I did with that golden derp. Much to my dismay, in my vast array of puffy paint, I don't have a single metallic silver, so I may have to come back to Eustace at some point. All right, moving on to the next pair. Whew, this feels like a lot of shoes. Pop in the paint, magic. And for the first time, I'm going to paint this pair kind of simultaneously because for the first time, I am doing the same design on both feet. I know, revolutionary. Normally, my designs take so long, and creating an intricate design not once, but twice twice. It's hard to wrap my head around, and then my soul starts to die. But this design, it's gonna be so quick and simple. I think my soul can live through it. So I've got a nice pink background on here, and I'm gonna go for a little dip of green because I'm doing a strawberry theme. So I'm painting a little strawberry leaf at the top of the shoe. Now I considered doing strawberry on one foot and a different fruit on the other foot, but I couldn't think of a good way to design it so that they didn't look too mismatched. So I ended up deciding to do just a full strawberry pear. And honestly, not sure how I feel about the look of those strawberry leaves. Kind of looks like pointy slime dripping down the shoe. Just a little bit. Not my favorite. I tried to add some dark green trim. Let's see if that makes it better. I added in the seeds, which did help to some extent. At least it makes it look more like a strawberry, so that's good. And I'm messing with those leaves to try to improve that situation, adding the outline, which I think did help to make the design look a little bit more finished. Oh, and look at that trick. Wow, you're so cool. I also added the dark green to the back of the shoe to give a little interest back there. And yes, I'm back to these leaves. Sometimes when I don't like something, I feel like maybe it's just missing something, but the truth is I just don't like it. I don't know why of all of the pairs, these got the signature of approval. Also, look at this. I definitely failed this time to keep the elastic clean. This is what happens when you get cocky. I tried to cover it up somewhat successfully. You can still kind of see where the paint was. Here they are. Well, we'll get the tape off of there. That's not helping the look at all. And sure, I'll go ahead and add a clear coat. Why not? And they're done. Can you feel my enthusiasm? I'm not a huge fan of these. I mean, they're not awful. I just don't think they're that great either. It's weird because usually I love strawberry themed things. It's normally such an easy thing to pull off. It's like my go-to, but this time I just am not digging it. I wouldn't be scared to wear these out or get them dirty, but also I don't know how excited I am to wear them that much at all. Get out some new wax paper. I'm basically a pro blob sculptor at this point, so let's do this. Get this clay nice and squishy and nice and gooey. Now, honestly, making things out of clay has been on my video idea list for a long time, and I've been dreading it because I've had some struggles in the past with clay. The only part of this that I was really looking forward to was the painting portion, but I did not hate this as much as I thought I would. In fact, I didn't hate it at all. In fact, I kind of really enjoyed it. I think starting simple does help instead of trying to do something that's way outside of your skill level and ultimately landing in a pool of sadness. If you start simple, you're much more likely to have fun and be satisfied, and then you can just gradually keep building and adding more and more and get better and better. Now about that flower, I decided to try to create a little rose for my blob. It didn't turn out as beautiful and delicate as the one on the packaging. No, it's a little more clunky and chunky, but I was also making it at a quite small size. Also, it's an appropriate flower for a blob. I gave this blob a nice, simple, happy face. I was getting a little bit tired at this point, and I didn't really want to do anything crazy. Now, after letting these dry for about a day and a half, I had to turn them over because they've got wet bottoms and let them dry like that for another day and a half or so. Okay, and on to the last little fellow. This is the blob holding a rose, and I'm gonna pull the golden yellow color from Plumfish Blob's bow and blend it into a deeper orange. I want to keep the colors somewhat cohesive for the whole set, so I didn't want to add another one at this point. This blob, I have to say, I think is my least favorite of the three. He's cute and all, but compared to the other two, I just don't like him as much. But that being said, he is going to be a valued member of the trio, so let's give him his moment, okay? And I'm already on to adding his little cheeks, which were a little tricky. They kept wanting to go to the strange brown color. Nope, don't do that. And I just stuck with white for the rose because, again, I didn't really want to introduce any new colors to this set. And painting the very strange and thick stem with the froggy green, adding in a simple little face freckles. Give the rose some shading, especially in the petals, since the white really washes it out. We want to bring back some of those details. Finally, adding the white highlights, except whoops, nope, I don't like those. Okay, there. And on to the glaze. Okay, final member of the Blob Squad complete. I guess this is Blob Squad 2.0, because we can't forget them. He's cute. I can't really understand how he's holding on to that flower because it's really just kind of floating there, but we can overlook the physics of that. My first victim is the cat. There's not too much wrong with it, but then again, there's not too much right with it either. Just that face, it's creepy. I don't like it. It is a pretty nice squish though. As you can tell by this neck tear, I have used this one quite a bit. There is a little stain. Do you see it? Also, those seams are so messy. First, I'm gonna prep the squishy by sanding it. Otherwise, we may run into issues with the paint sticking. Oh, I sanded off his eyebrows. Now I'm gonna take care of those very messy seams. Just trim that up a bit better. Here is my lovely color scheme that I'm working with. I get to choose one add-on, and I decided to add black to this group. No, it's not cheating. Stop judging me. So here goes the yellow, and I am gonna mix it with yellow matte paint. They are the exact same color. This way I get the benefits of both types of paint, so we get a nice in between, and I'm able to use a paintbrush to apply it, which is much easier than popsicle stick. Okay. So I'm painting this cat with the yellow because it seemed to be the best of my options, but it's a very bright taxi yellow, and after 2 coats of that, I just started thinking, you know what, this ain't working for me. So let's reevaluate here. I'm gonna quickly throw a little paint party to see what kind of colors we can get by mixing. Yellow and black make diarrhea, a weird kind of greenish color, and obviously red and yellow make orange. I don't think that's a shock to anyone, right? Nobody shook right now? Okay, good. But if we add a little bit of black to the orange, we can get a nice-ish brown-ish. So I'm just gonna add that into my yellow paint. You can't do that! It's cheating. It's not cheating. My rules. Here I go, applying my new color onto the cat. I don't know about you, but this color is much less upsetting than that bright yellow. So cool. I'm gonna keep going with that, cover the entire body. Oops, silly me. I missed a spot. No, I'm saving that because I'm now gonna go in with a red and paint on a kind of, a hood, hat, helmet? Some sort of head thing, okay?
Oh, I know. It's Little Red Riding Hood. Yay!
Actually, no. I just realized though, with these colors, I mean, if it weren't for the green glitter that I'm gonna have to add later, I could have made Winnie the Pooh, but a cat version, Winnie the Cat, with a bow tie. Never mind. Once I cleaned up the hood, I'm gonna go in with white. This is not gonna be part of the final design. I'm gonna use this as a base coat for the glitter paint because otherwise it's not gonna show up because it's very see-through. Okay, so it's necessary. I'm gonna take a moment to show you my tragic injury that occurred off camera. I broke my nail all the way down. Blood, guts, torment. Anyway, let's break out that glitter now. As you can see, I'm turning his hat into a strawberry themed hat because I just did. And I'm building up that glitter so that it's completely opaque. Wait, that's a tomato. Dang it. Finally, I'm drawing on his face. Since this was kind of a weird idea, I wanted the face to be unique. He needs to have character. Oh, there we go. The seeds make it look a little bit more strawberry-esque. Good. Working on that face again. Whoa, those are some big eyes. I kind of forgot that I couldn't use white, so I kind of had to improvise. If I had remembered that I can't use white, I probably would have designed the eyes differently because this looks strange. And then to make it look even more special, I put down a base coat so that I could add the green glitter into the eyes. I was taking a risk. I was trying something new. It still looks strange. I know that this is probably not everyone's taste because it kind of looks a little different, but honestly, I do think it's a big improvement from what it was, and I actually like it. But I'm kind of embarrassed to admit it. The idea is random and I didn't really picture this, but there's just something about it that I like. It looks like a lion to me with the color, the face. That's scary. And as much as I complained about the glitter, I think it's kind of rocking it. It's Little Red Strawberry Hood. Lion. Next is this girl. Remember her? The mysterious hump head girl?
What?
Okay, listen, I'm gonna start painting her with freaking yellow paint. And I'll tell you, but before you understand mysterious
Hump-headed baby.
you have to know Starla. Starla is the mama blob. She is the mascot of Blob Universe and the one who started it all. Even though I actually made her like 4 episodes into the series, but no, that doesn't really matter. So I thought it would be great to start the baby blobs off with Starla's baby, who would then be the mascot of the baby blobs. Now, of course, Starla is mama to all blobs, so all blobs are Starla's babies because she's mama blob. Okay. This baby in particular is her actual baby. Okay, it's not confusing. Stop. Now that I've got this baby all yellow, I'm gonna add some white and orange to a palette and start trying to create a glowing look to her. The reason for the head hump is because I was trying to make her look like a star. So like, I thought it would be cute, you know? She's got 4 limbs and then the pointed head. You see, it's like it's a star. So Starla is Mama Blob and her baby is a star.
Okay.
But I kept looking at the thing and being like, this kind of looks familiar. Where have I seen a little star character like this before? I looked it up and I found this from the movie Wish, which I've actually never seen before, but just pointing that out. This has nothing to do with Wish. They just both happen to be stars. I made this very disgusting looking glow effect and hated it, so I ended up going over all of that white and just left it like this, which I'll end up painting this later too, but one step at a time. I went in for the face. I wanted to do a super sweet smiley face because I want to name her
Twinkle.
She's
a twinkle.
and I added some pink cheeks, which ended up looking very muddy and weird.
Yeah.
But I wasn't ready to accept that quite yet. And then I went over the face, and I mean, in some ways the face is kind of cute, but in most ways it's just horrible. Ugh. But I kept going. I thought adding some colorful stars around was gonna fix everything. I thought if I could just get in there and get my head close to it so that I blocked the whole freaking camera, it would fix everything, but no, it did not. This was just not working, and it's time to accept it. It's time to actually kill this thing for good. I'm covering up this nightmare and gonna try again. After several coats of cover up yellow, I started in again with another attempt at a glow effect. You think I would have learned my lesson? Just stop trying to make it glow. It's not gonna glow. This time, instead of making the outside glow, I tried to make it glow from the inside by making the face white. And then I started messing with the face, which I did change from the original design. I wanted to make it look more babyish and cutesy, and it was looking okay at this point. I mean, I think it's kind of better. I really wanted to add some more color because I just feel like the plain yellow was not enough for a child of Starla. Starla's child is way too special for monochrome. So I added these kind of colorful wavy stripes. This is not a rainbow. Okay, they're just colorful wavy stripes. I don't know what they're doing here, but
Hello.
I really just wanted it to look like a cute baby glowing star. Why is this so hard? I tried adding some little details, glitters, a big old head star. I hated that, so I changed it again, and this is what I ended up with. This is Twinkle. You know what? I really don't like her. I still really like this idea, but I feel like she's just not that cute, and I spent way too much time on her already, so I have to end. Looking at this now, I do have a few ideas for what I could potentially change to improve her, but I kind of want to get your guys' feedback first before I redesign this again. I firmly believe that Twinkle is important. She needs to exist in the universe. She needs to be named Twinkle. She needs to be Starla's star baby, just not like this. So please save Twinkle, okay? Tell me what is wrong with her. Help me to fix her. She's just not it right now. Okay, stop smiling. We hate you. Okay, so kind of just without thinking, I decided to draw a red panda. I was trying to choose an animal that I haven't drawn a million times. May not have been the best idea. I chose a red panda and then I gave him a balloon. I don't know. And then I thought, you know what? Let's be creative. So I started with red and then I incorporated other random colors and I chose the most ugly color palette that I probably could have with like these weird primary colors. And I just kind of blended them all together in a nice ugly color barf. This is what I did. Look, I don't like this. This is not good. I don't like this at all. So it is official. I have now ruined this sketchbook. which may sound like really bad news, but let's look at the bright side. The pressure's off, and now I don't have to worry about what I put in here because it's already ruined. He's here. Nobody's gonna be worse than that. Granted, I was rushing a little bit because my tummy is a growling. I'm hungry. A little bit I threw this together. I'm not even gonna honor this friend with a name because he doesn't deserve it. Nope. Next, I'm going to take a break from the chocolate sweetness and dive into Derpy Dinos. I know most of the requests were to do the entire dino family, but today I'm just gonna start with one.
Can we just do one?
So I need to pick which one. This one's kind of cute. Okay. This one, hate that red stuff. Wait, yuck. This one, a pterodactyl. I can't with the head. We got a triceratops, and then there's
Evan.
who is... Oh, he's walking. He's walking right past my kombucha. So if you didn't already gather, this is Evan's time. It's his birth. Here he is. This is the one I chose, and for no good reason. Look at the head. It's the worst. What kind of dinosaur is this? I don't even know. Oh my gosh, there are so many that look like this. Brontosaurus, Apatosaurus, Ultrasaurus. No, it's not that. Mamenchis. What? I don't find much about this particular dinosaur to be that cute. Do not compare him to Pickle because he is not there. But the fact that he already has a name made me choose him. And yes, he does already have a name. Can't you see it? His name is Evan. As soon as I looked at his face, I'm like, oh, hi, Evan. What does that even mean? Fortunately, there's not much damage to him, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Oh gosh, just the way he waddles, it's repulsive. Let me get started. First, he needed a good sanding. Thank you. He's shredded. This squishy is a high risk for peeling paint, so this was necessary. Since I already have dinos in green, blue, yellow, and pink, this one is getting orange. Oof, and we're off to a bad start.
Ew.
At first I started with this kind of yellowy orange, and then it evolved into a more orangey orange. Then I decided to make mega changes to it and just start over. This time I tried to create more of a salmon orange, which wasn't really going that well. What am I doing? Then I tried the color on, and it's just dark orange. That's it. I'm not happy. So I went back to adjusting it and came back to the squishy, and this is what we've got now. Is this what I wanted? No. Nothing about this squishy looks right, but I think I'm just gonna have to accept it because it's just not right. This is not gonna be cute. Look at the head. I hate things with small heads.
How rude.
I went in with a lighter version of the color on his belly, or not.
No, that's his neck.
I felt like it looked weird where it ended, so I extended it onto his actual belly and all the way down his tail. That actually helps me to like this just a tad bit more. Then it's time for the details, so I brought in the colors, and in true Derpy Dino fashion, I'm adding a bunch of colorful splotches. No, not splooches. These are splotches because they are not special, and he will never be on the same level as Precious Pickle. Then after adding all of those, I'm adding some tiny little confetti dots to his head, and it's just ridiculous. What a freak. I added his eyes and his mouth, and then presenting Evan. He's, oh my gosh. He is so hateable. I just want to punch him in the face. Here come the others. Oh no. Do not interact with him. He is not up to par. Evan is truly just the worst, and he is not a part of the Derpy Dinos. Oh my gosh, no, go away, get out of here. From his ridiculous neck to his ridiculous smile to his stupid little confetti on his head. I mean, come on. I refuse to allow anyone to love him. I brought out my sketchbook. I had determined a couple issues with this hat design. 1, I don't love it. 2, I kind of wish I had gone with the flower design. 3, it doesn't look like cow print. So I tried to invent a new character that would solve all of these issues. I made it a cow print character, not a cow, because it's actually a blob. Well, it's actually a flob. It's traditional black and white cow print to reinforce that this is in fact cow print. I also made it a flob. It's a flower blob hybrid. I thought that by bringing the flower petals in, it would make me miss the floral idea a little bit less. Also, I thought that just adding a character to the design would make it more interesting and make me like it more. There's just one problem, and I don't know why I didn't notice it in this moment. This character is so ugly. What's even the point of sketching things out if you don't even look what you did. It's not cute. Don't do it. I decided to add this character nice and big right smack on the front of the hat. This character is just the result of too many ideas crammed together. The whole thing is too many ideas crammed together. Since I wasn't really loving anything that I was coming up with, I just tried to combine all of these like meh ideas together, hoping that they would be stronger together. But what actually happened is that it's just a mess. And this character is just, he's not even cute. Is he a cow? Is he a blob? Is he a flop? He's all of it and he's none of it.
And I hate it.
He doesn't have a name because I hate him and I never want to see his face again. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, okay? It's gonna be fine. I'll give him a name, all right? It's Bill. Because the Bill of the hat. Hi, Bill. We hate you. Then, oh boy, it gets worse.
Really?
I went to do the black outline and I noticed that the black paint is just seeping into the hat and bleeding and the edges are spreading and it looks very, very messy. I don't know why this happened. The white paint was fine, but the black paint just decided to go places. So that was just the rotten cherry on top of this already disgusting cake. I am still obligated to try this on because I always do. Wouldn't want to deprive you of this moment. And oh my gosh, I'm gagging. It's just so bad. Okay, I would not want to be caught dead wearing this hat. Everything about it is just kind of ugly, and I just am not proud that I'm the one that brought this monstrosity into existence. But yeah, there you have it. That's the hat. You know, from the side, I don't love it, but I feel like it's at least, you know, like a C-. But then you see the front, the ugly bill, the chaos, the bleeding edges. Obviously, I'm not happy with this project, but I promise you, the next claw machine video I do will be better. I'm so sorry you had to look at this. So I'm gonna do this one first. The face is a bit creepy. I think it's her eyes and how they bulge out like a fish, also accented by some fish lips. Her outfit just seems a little bit bland. She's in like business attire. Her overall design to me is a bit monotone. Although of the 3 squishies that I'm working on today, I think that this one was the best looking to start with. I do love that hairstyle. So let me get started with completely destroying this. So she's gonna go under the knife today, or you know, under the scissors. I'm just cleaning up the messy seams at first, and then I'm just gonna smooth out all the details of her dress because I want to change the style of this. Also removing those fish lips. At this time I was thinking that yes, I can probably paint something better than those, so let me just cut those off. My confidence is sickening. And look at this, I can still recognize her lips among the scraps. Look at those little grubs. So now that she's been silenced, I'm gonna take some sandpaper to this to rough it up a little bit and prepare it for paint. Looks like she's had a rough day. No. So now to fill in some of those cuts that I've made, I'm gonna use some puffy paint to try to seal all of that in and cover up the rips a little bit better. After a few coats of that, she looks like a alien zombie creature of some sort. Now to cover up all of that mess, I'm just gonna be painting a base coat with some white matte fabric paint so that it's easier for me to create my design on top. Okay, so I believe all of these squishies that I'm painting today are based on LOL dolls. I had no idea what these were when I bought them. I found them on eBay just like randomly, and I've had these for months. One day I just happened to see one of the dolls and I was like, that's what these things came from. Whoa. What was that? Not that it really matters, but I just thought I'd point out that I do know that. I'm going for the skin now, which, I'm not used to painting skin tones, so I was struggling a little bit to find the right shade. This paint is actually my chocolate ice cream color. It doesn't look quite right for skin. I know. So weird. It's just a little bit off. I think it's too gray and she looks a little bit dead, half dead, dying. So that was my first mistake, but just wait. Now I'm going to move on to her hair, and it's such a fun hairstyle. So I went for a multicolored kind of carnival color scheme. The way I painted it actually doesn't make any sense at all because the colors on her buns are like in completely different orders than the hair that's growing on her scalp. But I didn't really care. I was just kind of going wild with the hair. This was back when I had so many hopes and dreams for this squishy. Memories. Once I had created the different stripes of color, then I went in with very thin layers of paint and kind of blended them together. And you know what? Her hair now really reminds me of those multicolored alpaca squishies. Maybe subconsciously that's why I thought that this color scheme would look good on her hair. I don't know. Who knows why I do the things I do? But this took forever, maybe an hour and a half just on her hair. I was so invested in her, I swear. And that's looking just about how I wanted it, so I'm gonna move on to her clothes. No more business casual. I'm gonna make her outfit just as fun and colorful as her hair. So I painted the upper half pink, and then for the skirt, I painstakingly painted stripes of color. Kinda looks like a circus tent, which also took forever. Wow, I was so invested in this girl. Side note, this background color is very green.
That's cool, okay.
So now I decided to pay homage
Ew, I hated the way I said that.
to her past self, and I'm adding a bunch of gold accents to her outfit since she had a lot of gold on her person before. But of course, I'm using a much brighter, more yellow gold that will pop out a little bit more. Oh, this is kind of satisfying. And her outfit is really starting to come together. I'm piling on some gold paint to give her some rockin' gold boots. And at this point, I'm just so happy with it. She's looking exactly how I pictured her, and I was having a lot of fun at this point. Remember her like this. This is the best she's ever going to look. So I'm starting to try to attempt to paint the face. While I'm waiting for that first layer of paint to dry, I'm just gonna go around and do some little touch-ups here and there, which isn't always the best idea.
Oh, shoot.
But I do it anyway. I got a little overeager and started on one of the pupils and then realized that the white wasn't dry yet. Calm down, wait a little longer. I ended up adding some white little frills on her sleeves and then a little white collar. It's
So cute.
I was having way too much fun putting this outfit together and avoiding this situation. I even added some little white bows to her buttes. Ain't that the cutest? So my goal with the face was to make it less creepy than the original. Considering the original, I thought that would be pretty easy. Honestly, this is fine. I should have just added some eyebrows, put on some eyelashes, a simple smiley face, and you know what? You're done. Just leave it. That's fine. Leave it, please. But of course, I way overcomplicated the design.
Gosh.
Yeah, I'm laughing now. So this was my first attempt at the face. She looks like a demented Muppet. So I added a bottom lip and some gold eyeshadow. Why? Oh my gosh. So now she's a demented Muppet with self-esteem issues. So I toned down the eyeshadow, and while I was up there, I just fixed the edges of her hair. Just take a second to think about what I've done.
Life is full of regrets.
Then I thought, the problem must be her lip color. So I tried red. Her lips look like a mustache. The problem must be that she doesn't have eyelashes. It's not getting better. Maybe the problem is that she doesn't have highlights in her eyes. This is one freaky looking fish. I'm starting to realize just how hard it is to make those huge bulging eyes not look terrifying. This is real time right now. I was literally just sitting there holding this thing, staring at it, regretting so much. I was trying to create a super detailed design on a face, and using fabric paint is not very easy to get those tiny little details. It's like painting with glue, but I've worked with it enough at this point that I thought I could make this happen.
My confidence was my downfall.
And as I keep on trying and keep on changing things, the thick layers of paint are just building up and building up. Just leave it like that. Seriously, you've done enough. But was I satisfied? No. I'm just gonna continue to fight this.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
So maybe it's just that her eyes are too big and too circular, so I thought that if I gave her eyelids, it might make her look a little less scary, but I had repainted this area so much, it was starting to look really chunky.
Hashtag no makeup.
She looks like an old man now. At this point, I was starting to get fed up, so I added a few more things, and then I just ended up making all the rest of the changes off camera. I don't want to show it. It's so bad. You guys are gonna judge me. Here she is. Absolutely hideous. At least she can stand a little bit better, so she has that going for her.
Okay.
100%, I think the original looks better. If this is your first time watching one of these makeovers, things usually go a little bit better, but this time I flat out failed. But I think the biggest problem is all the weird nasty globs on her face from every time that I changed it, and it really just emphasizes that shininess. That's not helping. It looks like she's sweating.
But let's not be negative. Let's be positive.
Okay, silver lining, I do really like the hair and the outfit, but they're just not enough to make up for that. I mean, if you look at it from a distance, she looks kind of cute, but you get up close and it's just like, oh snap. I'm gonna stop picking on her now. It's not her fault.